CBS 2 News 10 at 10 continues now with more of the corridor's top stories. Just this past week, new changes allowing more trade and travel between the U.S. and Cuba went into effect after the president said he wanted to improve our relationship with that country.
Now, last week, we showed you how Americans can go to Cuba on tours with travel agencies, schools, or churches. But the changes could also have a big economic impact right here. CBS 2 News reporter Marissa Scott is live in the newsroom tonight with the story. Marissa?
Yeah, Matt and Joy, only Congress can end the 5-decade embargo. So Iowa farmers are pressuring both parties to come to an agreement because they see a huge opportunity to sell to a market that would reap benefits from our products.
When we're talking about 11 million more consumers than we currently have right now, that's a lot of mouths to feed and that's a lot of product.
For Steve Swenka, the opportunity of selling to Cuba is a no-brainer.
Iowa farmers are in a really unique position, in fact, that they're diversified.
He says grains, corn, and soybeans will be the first products delivered to Cuba. Then he expects beef and pork to be picked up.
I'm really anticipating, some higher cuts of beef.
Right now, the U.S. can import, but it's not easy. Most of the food that goes into the country is for humanitarian efforts.
The United States has been allowed to export food to Cuba for years now. However, the restrictions have made it very difficult for farmers to compete.
Cuba imports about 80% of their food, and the cost to ship meat and grains could be a lot less, since the U.S. is a lot closer than where some of their other imports come from.
We're 90 miles away, and so why not, anytime you open up a market, especially a market the size of the state of Ohio in Cuba, you create opportunities.
It's just a matter of getting two parties and two countries on board to reestablish trade regulations.
We look at the political realities on Capitol Hill. Congress is controlled by the Republicans, and some prominent Republicans, especially representing Florida, are not so eager to lift the embargo.
But Swenka says he is raising his hand to be the first to sell to Cuba because it's a market he believes will boost Iowa's economy.
Opening up good trade relations with Cuba is naturally going to be great for the Iowa farmer.
Iowa farmers and some representatives on Capitol Hill say selling and trading to Cuba will also boost Cuba's economy. The U.S. and Cuba plan to hold migration talks in Havana this week. Marissa Scott, CBS 2 News 10 at 10.